Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Google MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. We're going to change it up a little bit here tonight. So we're only going to be talking about the most relevant stuff here. So we're going to do a little bit of SmackDown Live. We're going to talk about we're also going to be talking briefly about TNA. And we're also going to get into what happened last night at AAA because we got a lot to talk about on that too. So we're going to dive right on in. Not a lot of time. We do have, starting it off, we did have the first part of the show where it was the Battle Royale to determine the number one contender for the TNA World title. This will be the winner of this one gets the title shot on New Year's Day on the Impact on New Year's Day, the first show of 2026. Bear Bronson wins the Battle Royale. He was the last man standing. Really not much more to talk about on that front, so we're just gonna move on. I don't have time of the falls, so I'm not gonna waste about time limits or anything else. Like I said, we're just gonna try to get it as fast as we can and get it out of here. So, Anthony, just give me a quick thought on it. Bear Brunson winning the men's battle royale. He's the number one contender for the TNA world title.
Challenger of the month, basically. That's what he is. He's not going to win the title. I mean, why not? It's a battle royal, so it's not like anyone is really hurt by a loss. Bronson is brand new around there, so it's a nice way to get things going. He does not exactly have anything in the way of star power, but I do like adding some surprising, fresh names in the mixture, as that can go a very long way. So I'm going to give it 3 to 3.25 stars. MF, move on if you would.
All right, and then we had a women's tag team fight as it was Zaya Brookside and Yei Ling versus Tessa Blanchard and Myla Moore, and it was actually Yi Li Ling and Zaya Brookside winning the match. So Anthony, quick thought.
3 to 3.25. It got going near the end, and it's nice to see the Angel Warriors get a win as a team for a change. At the same time, though, it feels like it's more about Tessa Blanchard coming after laying Lee in the Knockouts Championship. If nothing else, at least Lee got the pinfall, which is something a champion should be doing on occasion, especially in those kind of matches. Another 3, teetering on 3.25. Move on.
And it leads us into the main event of the evening. You can say this was their version of the War Games. Team NXT versus Team TNA. TNA wins the war. However, there was definitely, even though they won the battle, poor Santino Marella, it looked like he lost the war. His own daughter betrays him for NXT. Anthony Florio, good matchup, great battle, but oh my goodness, we are talking about what happened after the match is what got the fans talking.
Absolutely, MF. It is this is about a 4 to 4.25 star match, leaning more towards 4. But this does not come without constructive criticism.
Oh,
the fact that TNA never even had its full lineup in there and still didn't feel like they were in danger tells you a lot. It was a TNA All-Star team. 4 former World Heavyweight Champions. And Santino Marella, who is seen as a legend, which he is, against a bunch of NXT mid-carders. TNA might not be a huge deal, but they are bigger than this. And that was on full display with the match. It felt like a big match coming in, but it didn't quite hold up once the bell rang. So that's really all I can say on that. So I'm going to give it around the 4 to 4.25 star thing. Matt Hardy was taken out by the Righteous, and he's a former world champion. Jeff, former world champion. Macklin, former world champion. Mike Santana, who for some odd reason is not the world champion right now, which he clearly should be. But I believe at Genesis, he'll get the title back. So if it's okay, I'm just going to move on to the overall thought here, unless you have something you want to add, MF, on that.
Nope, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, you just want to make sure. 7 out of 10. While the execution might not have been great, it definitely felt like a big time show, and that's the best thing you can say about the whole thing. Nice to see TNA taking a step forward to something as huge as their upcoming debut on AMC on January 15th, and at least they're trying something different. Might not have been a great show, but it felt big at the right time, and I will take that, as there are more than a few things coming up that's worth seeing. So it's a 7 out of 10, and we move on to a taped edition of SmackDown that was taped after last Monday's Raw in Hershey, Pennsylvania at the Giants Center.
Yeah, so if you're gonna notice, it's gonna be a lot of more quicker action because, like we said, tape show. If you saw the spoilers, you already know the results. If you did not, good for you. We're gonna give you a quick rundown on it right now. Nia Jax and Lash Legend started it off to go up against the Kabuki Warriors, and it was Nia Jax and Lash Legend winning the match in 8 minutes and 56 seconds. It was about maybe a 2.5-star match. Obviously, it was fine for what it was worth, but the crowd was really non-existent in this matchup. So, I mean, that's why I'm kind of dropping it down to the 2.25, 2.5. But you can yell championship committee moment because the Kabuki Warriors did lose to Last Legend and Nia Jax, which would make them at least viable for the women's tag team titles. So, Anthony, it is yours.
2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. The match was better than it may have appeared on paper, with the Kabuki Warriors knowing exactly how to work with the bigger, stronger opponents, and when to spark excitement with their comebacks. The crowd was into it, even rooting for the otherwise dastardly champions. Post-match was a nice reminder of how well the creative team has done with rejuvenating the women's tag team division, which has been a problem over the last couple of years. Currently, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are pursuing the Kabuki Warriors and the Women's Tag Team Championship. There are some big stars and heavy hitters involved, making this the best the tag division has been in years. I can't remember probably since the inception of the titles, around 1819 or so. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm hoping for more of it. And it's nice to see a spotlight on this tag team division, which has been, a bit of a hindrance over the last couple of years, but I'm just glad that they're finally getting an exposure here. So not much more to say. We're going to bring in the Phenom, Michael Bullock here. So Bullock, I know your mind is elsewhere right now, and rightfully so, but your thoughts on this opening tag match?
Yeah, it's a 2.5-star match. I mean, it is a little disappointing that the crowd really wasn't that much into it, but I thought it was good for what it was worth, and yeah, it definitely was a championship committee moment, but for Nia Jax and Lash Legend. But you could also make the case for Charlotte and Alexa because they have yet to invoke their rematch for the title. So we'll see how it goes with this. So there's really nothing more to add on to it. So let's move on, Fletch.
All right. Next up we had was Julia going one-on-one with Alba Fire. Julia winning the match in 4 minutes and 13 seconds. You kind of feel like Julia's going after that Women's United States Championship, Anthony, and the current champion, Chelsea Green.
But before we get into that, what about that segment with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes at the house there?
The house invasion?
Woo-wee.
Yeah. We'll get into that. We'll get into it briefly.
That is something WWE has not done nearly enough of over the last year. While Triple H and the production team had spent his first year maximizing the talent of the crew, with great video packages and vignettes dedicated to getting superstars and stories over, things have taken a more one-dimensional in-arena approach of late. That segment with Cody and Drew and all this, that was a breath of fresh air that took Cody and Drew out of the building into real life and highlighted just how intense the hatred is between them. More of that, please. As far as this match is concerned, dangerously serious and seriously dangerous is exactly what we need to see out of Julia at this stage of her main roster run. She started off the year with so much promise, and she has not been the same since she dropped the NXT Women's Championship to Stephanie Vaquer on that Roadblock show in March at the Paramount. But with that being said, the creative team has badly fumbled one of the most intriguing stars on the roster since her call-up. hopefully 2026 brings with it a chance for her to truly show what she is capable of, as this incarnation of her character is doing little for her. And as much as I love Kiana James, and I do, pairing her with Kiana James, I think is more of a liability at this point, if I'm being honest. So I want to see that Julia that we saw in Japan, the Julia that you know, MF, the Julia that was that kick-ass, unstoppable force. But instead, they've watered her down very, very badly. So, and I can't tell you, I was excited about Julia coming in, and she was great in NXT, but since she's come up to the main roster, that U.S. title run was a joke. Sorry, and I don't know, but hopefully 2026 we can hit the reset button, and then we can get Julia back to what she should be: seriously dangerous, and seriously dangerous. 2 stars. That's the best I can go. So, Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 1.5 for me. I mean, it wasn't that good. I mean, I understand obviously Julia trying to get back in the Women's United States Championship picture, but yeah, I mean, like you said, ever since she dropped the women's title, the NXT women's title to Stephanie Vaquer, she just hasn't been the same. And you thought maybe going up to the main roster would do something, but that women's United States title run, I'm sorry, it was an absolute joke, a flop. I mean, she rarely defended the title, and I'm sorry to say this too, I think pairing her with Kiana James is a mistake. I mean, I get you're trying to get her on TV because obviously we hadn't seen her. I mean, before they paired her up with Julia, but it just hasn't worked out. We need to see the Julia when she first came up in NXT, and the Julia that you know so much, Michael Fletcher. I mean, hopefully they can hit the reset button in 2026, and she can get back to the Julia that we all know and love. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. 1.5 stars. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, it is a disappointment. It should have been a lot more better than what it was, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. 1.5 stars is the correct rating. I really got nothing more to say on that one. So we do indeed move on. The next thing that we did have was Nick Aldis, basically, uh, basically talking about the whole situation with Cody, and basically he's like, "Well, Cody, look, I'm going to be straight out with you. I cannot have you do what you just did." And he's like, you can no longer lay a finger on Drew McIntyre. And Cody's like, all right, or what? What's going to be the consequence? Nick Aldis wasn't messing around. He told Cody that if you lay your hands on Drew McIntyre, you will be stripped of the WWE Championship.
That's when you know
is not.
Yeah, that's when you know he's not messing around.
Nick Aldis basically threw the gauntlet at Cody, and Cody then in turn threw the gauntlet at Nick Aldis. Basically saying that I'm the quarterback, I'm the champion, and basically whatever I say goes. You know, I seen this story once before. And I'm going to tell you, boys, I did not like what I heard from the undisputed WWE champion. That tells me that I think our beloved champion's creating a little bit of an ego that somebody's going to have to snuff them out at some point. Now, I've heard rumors about it. Maybe they're doing CM Punk and Cody at Mania, Roman and Cody at Mania, I don't know what, but this is a path, Cody. If you want to go down that road, man, you know, and I know it's not going to end well for you. So you might want to park it there, my friend. Just saying. So I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting, to say the very least. So next up, match-wise, we had was a tag team fight. Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes against DIY. And it was Dragunov and Carmelo winning it in 10 minutes and 21 seconds. I believe this goes to Michael Bullock. So, Bullock, it is yours.
Yeah, I'm going to give this about maybe 3.25 for this one. I mean, it was a solid match here. I mean, it was good to see something really good come out of this, especially with who you got in the ring. So, but yeah, I mean, this was entertaining. So I'm interested to see what happens next, especially with Ilya Dragunov as the United States champion. But yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. But before I toss it to you, Fletch, I want to give you my quick 2 cents on that segment.
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, all I can say is Nick Aldis ain't messing around. I mean, I think he's pretty much, Fletch, I think he's pretty much done with this Cody going after Drew going after Cody. I think this is like he's putting a stop to this and basically telling Cody, hey, you do this again, you're being stripped of the title. Well, I'll tell you this, Fletch. I think it's going to take more than that to shake Cody Rhodes. Because, like you said, he is the QB. He is the guy. And I don't think he's going to take crap from anybody. And you're seeing that right there. So we'll see what happens with this. But this just got very, very interesting, as I would like to say. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, very interesting. No doubt about it. We'll see how it plays out. But my goodness. We're gonna have, it's getting interesting. We'll say that. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, solid matchup. I would give this about three and a quarter stars for Dragunov and Hayes and DIY. Good solid tag team fight, and it's yours.
And as far as my thoughts go on the segment with Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes, it was outstanding work from both Aldis and Rhodes. The GM expressed his frustration with his employee not following orders, while Rhodes mustered some of that old Mick Foley testicular fortitude and reminded his boss who he was. Not only did this set the stage for Drew McIntyre's return, it also planted the seeds for dissension between the authority figure and the babyface champion. That's a story we've seen unfold before, but given the history between Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis, this could be great fun and a big storyline development down the road. So there is not much more to say on that. Now, as far as this match is concerned, 3.25, teetering on 3.5. This was all about reestablishing Carmelo Hayes. He found himself in several situations where defeat appeared imminent, only to soldier through, kick out, and keep victory possible for his team. It was that next level toughness that eventually allowed Dragunov to re-enter the picture and team with Hayes to take down the former tag team champions. So there isn't much more to say there. So 3.25, teetering on 3.5. MF, are you going to set the table for the next show, or are we just going to move on to the main event?
We're just going to move right on to the main event, and it was, just to let you guys know, the main event of this show that we had was, gang warfare. Let's say it like that. It was the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis versus Tama Tonga and JC Romero of the MFTs. The fight gets thrown out in 11 minutes and 9 seconds. Told out, full scale, mother effing brawl. That's all you need to say. It went all over the place. Nikki Cross got power bombed onto the into the guys in the middle of the brawl. She wanted in, And yeah, it happened. It was a holy freaking crap. This was insane. We knew this was probably not going to end well for somebody, and everybody got involved in this one. This was a solid matchup. I got to call NA because, there was not an outcome. So, Anthony, it's yours. This was nuts how this broke down.
The crowd was here for the main event. It was an action-packed match that did not overstay its welcome and invited more storyline development with the indecisive finish. While some may look at it as a cop-out, the match was not heavily promoted and sets up a potentially even more significant finale for the two factions. I will call NA as well. So, Michael Bullock, your quick thought on the main event.
Yeah, I'm going to call NA as well. I mean, the thing is, did you expect anything less when you got the MFTs and the Wyatt Six? I mean, did you expect that this wasn't going to end well? I mean, I certainly expected it. So there's got to be some way to resolve this issue with the Wyatt Six and the MFTs. And this is not the last you're going to hear of the Wyatt Six. Of course, we'll talk about it briefly when we recap the AAA event, Fletch, when we get to it.
Yeah, we will.
So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. I got to call NA as well. So, overall thoughts time.
I believe it goes to Anthony Florio. So, Tony, it's yours.
As it should be. For a show that was taped, it was a fairly strong effort for a much maligned SmackDown brand. There was clear direction for some of the top feuds, including Rhodes and McIntyre, Priest and Black, Damian Priest and Aleister Black, and both sets of tag team championships, men's and women's, while the United States Championship picture continues to shine thanks to the efforts of Ilya Dragunov. While the prospects of the blue brand going back to 3 hours in the new year sounds like something out of a horror movie, this show hit a nice compact stride and never relented. So I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10 for me. So there isn't much more to say there. So, all right. So 7 out of 10 for me. So, Michael Bullock, your overall thoughts?
Yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. I mean, I thought it was a good show. I mean, it was, not bad for a tape show. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So, Fletch, you got the final say before we get into AAA.
Yeah, it was a fine show, like you guys said. It was a pretty simple enough to say. 7 out of 10, paint by number type show. Really nothing more to that. Let's get into that AAA that Michael Bullock was alluding to. That Gayanas, the Titans. In Spanish they call it the War of the Titans. That's the name of the event. It was from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, at the Estadio Guadalajara, to do the show. And we started off with a tag team match. It was Octagon Jr. and Mr. and La Parca. They went up against Los Americanos. This was actually a fatal four-way. So Los Americanos, Bravo, and Rio, Miss Riguana, and Nino Henrigueza, and Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro representing the LWO. Winners of the bout in 9 minutes and 36 seconds was Octagon Jr. and La Parca to win it. So, and at the end of the fight, we got a big surprise. A sighting, a huge sighting. Saul Canelo Alvarez in the building. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't believe it. I fell out of my chair when I saw Canelo, man. One of the best boxers in the world. Big Mexican hero. And I think that was his son who was at ringside. So when we saw that, I almost fell out of my chair when I saw Canelo. I was like, even my boys were losing it. Of course, me with Jake Turner and with Abel, aka we call him Mexi. We were doing the AAA War of the Titans last night for all you great fans out there. And then the next fight of the evening we had was the Latin American title on the line, as it was All Ego Ethan Page going up against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Initially, the winner of the bout and new Triple A Latin American champion was Ethan Page. But hold, wait a minute. Mr. Iguana hops up on the apron like, no, referee, illegal. He's got something in his tights. El Hijo de Durante, who's the referee of the match, check the gear, the ring gear of Ethan Page. We find out there was a little bit of a wrench inside the pants of Ethan Page. The referee reverses his decision, automatic restart, and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. with the Wagner driver getting the 1, 2, 3 and the win to successfully defend the title. And yes, All Ego Ethan Page did pitch a fit off on the internet and is vowing revenge on Mr. Iguana. He is saying that he is going to take La Esca and beat the living daylights out of it and make Iguana extinct when it's all said and done. You got an angry Canadian now on the warpath. So, Mr. Iguana, good luck, buddy. I would not want to be you right about now. So, next up we had was, the Carnival of Carnage. It was the Psycho Circus and Pagano going up against all members of the Wyatt Six. It was the Psycho Circus. They won it. 10 minutes and 27 seconds. Crazy match. Started in like this fun house. You had all the props, carnival stuff. And yeah, you had Mascarita Sangrada showing up. You had Pipinera Escalata showing up. And oh my God, this was nuts. Insane. However, once it went out to the ringside area, the match continued. It was wild. And yes, they gave it to the Psycho Circus to win it. And obviously, it's Mexico. It's AAA. I think the fans went nuts when they won it. So great on them. Good for them as well. And yeah, so the next thing we had on our show was a triple threat for the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. The champion, Laredo Kid, versus Jack Evans and Jack Cartwheel. Javon Evans and Jack Cartwheel, winner of the bout in 12 minutes and 31 seconds, and still the AAA Cruiserweight Champion of the world, the Laredo Kid. Okay, fight of the night, and now a candidate for fight of the year. This was 5 stars. This was amazing. Without a doubt, the best match of the entire card. And on top of that, there are even some internet fans that are already saying this is a fight of the year candidate. They're not saying fight of the year, but this definitely should be in conversation for the fight of the year. And I am going to push it to be it as a nominee for fight of the year because it was that good. This was an amazing match from beginning to end. The high flying, the acrobatics, the action was amazing. And yes, Laredo Kid winning, no big surprise. This man has held the belt for over 1,200 days. He's already at Roman Reigns level when it comes to a championship. As World Cruiserweight Champion, he has gone for over 1,200 days, and he's just cooking with gas. That's how great this was. So nothing more to say. We move on. Next up we had was Fabio Apache, Natalia, and Lola Vice going up against Los Toxicas, Famar, La Hierra, and Maravilla. And the winners of the bout in 7 minutes and 40 seconds was Fabio Apache, Natalia, the low-key legend Natty, and Natty Neidhart, and Lola Vice. Lola pinned Famar. Now, you're wondering, okay, what's the big deal about that? Famar is the Reina de Reinas champion. She is the women's champion in AAA. And Lola just got the winning fall. I think you can put 2 and 2 together. What just happened? I don't think I need to say it. I don't think Anthony Florio needs to say it. I don't think Michael Bullock needs to say it. I think we all know what that meant. We all know what just happened. That's a championship committee moment, ladies and gentlemen. That means Lola's probably the next in line for a title shot for the AAA Reina de Reina champion to take on the greatest champion of them all, Framar. We'll see how that plays out. But anyway, next up we had was El Hijo de Vecino versus Dragon Lee. El Hijo de Vecino winning the match in 17 minutes and 50 seconds thanks to the interference of Omos. And then after the match, Damian Rodan, who is the owner, who is part owner of the company, El Hijo de Vecino has sold his soul to the corporation. That's right. The Damian Rodan is the Paul Heyman and the Vince McMahon of this company. He runs it now, and El Hijo de Vecino just sold his soul to that man. The fans in Mexico went ballistic. Boo birds ringing out at the arena. And now this solidifies El Hijo de Vecino's heel turn. He is now a full-fledged heel in AAA. Anybody had any doubts about it? There's no doubts anymore. He is a full-fledged heel, and he also got a bodyguard with him, the big 7-foot monster in Omos. He's also now part of this crew. Main event of the evening, this was a tag team match, as it was El Grande Americano and Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Fénix and Rey Mysterio. Now, he is filling in for Penta. Penta was unable to go. He did suffer an injury on the November 24th episode of Monday Night Raw, and WWE and AAA had decided that, unfortunately, Penta is a no-go. Rey gets thrown into the match. Rey Mysterio and Rey Fénix wins the match. Rey Mysterio pinning Dominic for the win. We have ourselves a championship committee moment. Rey Mysterio may now be going after Dom for the AAA Mega Campeonato. This is a huge turn of events. However, Dom is also hurt. Dom suffered an injury. It looks like it's a shoulder injury. He's going back. He came back to the United States. There will be an MRI coming up being held by WWE. So we won't know the full extent of the injury until tomorrow. We hope to get some news on that. But whatever the case may be, this was a solid show, to say the very least. We're done. We're out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. Thank you so much for watching this. On Tuesday night, we do another edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. NXT and Monday Night Raw recaps coming your way. And then on Friday, it's another edition of NFL Friday, as we got a loaded week 16, I believe, or week 17 of the National Football League. We got 2 weeks of the regular season left, so we got that coming up. And then on Saturday, we do it all over again with another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. So until then, for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. So long, everybody, and we'll see you all on Tuesday. Goodbye.